What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be ranking all 4 Terrifier movies. So let's get into that. Hi, my name is Leo, and if you guys like to anything movie, TV show, or video game related, or just anything nerdy, you have come to the right place. And like I said, today we're ranking all 4 of the Terrifier movies. So without further ado, let's get into the ranking. Now, with Terrifier 3 releasing this past weekend, we now have 4 movies where Terrifier or Art the Clown is featured in a feature-length film. And I wanted to go ahead and rank all 4 movies here with you guys. But before I get started with that, let me know your guys' ranking in the comment section down below. Share your thoughts about the Terrifier franchise. Are you enjoying it? Are you like where these things are going? Or is this something that's just too bloody and gory for you, that you feel like it's all gore, no substance? I would love to hear all of you guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. But starting off with my number 4, we have All Hallows Eve. And this is still a fun movie for me, but at the end of the day, this is just a proof of concept of the character itself, where you have all these different little shorts put in together to make some sort of anthology, and you have Art the Clown kind of being the central character that is just appearing in all these different stories. I truly enjoy this movie regardless. I think this is a fun movie to watch during definitely the spooky season. It definitely gets into that vibe. It's a movie that takes place on Halloween night, where you have this babysitter taking care of these 2 kids after trick-or-treating, and you have this videotape that gets snuck into one of the boys' candy bags, and they watch it, and it's just a series of different sort of short stories that all, like I said, centralizes around Art the Clown. But again, this is kind of one of those movies that is a proof of concept. You know, we don't get Art the Clown to be fully fleshed out like we do it once we start getting into Terrifier 1, 2, and 3. But overall, I do still have a good enough time with this movie. There is a sequence in this movie that I really don't care for at all. That's kind of like the middle short story that we get. But at the end of the day, I do still enjoy this movie to be a fun, spooky season movie. But coming in at number 3, we're going to have the original Terrifier. And just like I said with Terrifier, or like I said with All Hallows Eve, where All Hallows Eve is a proof of concept of Art the Clown itself, this is a proof of concept of Art the Clown can sustain a full feature-length film by himself, and he absolutely does. He definitely becomes a standout within this movie. Like I've seen this multiple times already within this Terrifier franchise review series, but a lot of people were giving Terrifier or Art the Clown the crown for new horror icon after this first film, and I had some reservations for it, just because this movie did feel like what a lot of people think all these movies are, is just gore, no substance. And this one definitely kind of fits in that line, where you have these 2 girls on Halloween night, kind of just after a night of partying, encounter Art the Clown, and he just starts killing people seemingly for no reason. And of course, that lore gets, you know, build out once we get into Terrifier 2 and 3. But when you take this movie just on its own merit, you have a story that's not really all that developed. You have characters that are not really that interesting, and some dialogue that is very cheap and choppy. But overall, this is still a fun movie, and it's starting to display what Art the Clown can do, and gives you one of the craziest kill scenes in horror history with the upside down hanging hacksaw kill, which is still one of the greatest kills in this entire franchise. So Terrifier for me comes in at my number 3. But coming in at number 2, we're going to have the new kid on the block, Terrifier 3. I absolutely loved this movie. This is for sure going to be a new movie on the rotation for the Halloween season, as well as the Christmas season, for watching this year after year. This is an absolute blast of a movie. I love that we're starting to explore so much lore of Art the Clown and Terrifier, and this whole kind of fantasy type thing that Damien Leone is taking these characters that I truly enjoy. So I'm just so excited that we're starting to build out these characters more. We're starting to flesh them out. There's a much more clear and concise story, a better through line that just makes the whole thing much more enjoyable. And when you tack on Damien Leone's skills with practical effects, gores, and crazy kill sequences, this is just one of those movies that is just such a iconic film, and puts itself as one of my favorite horror movies right off the bat. I feel like I need to watch it a couple more times to see which one I like better, but as of right now, for me, Terrifier 3 is my number 2, and I highly recommend go watch it in theaters if you think you can stomach all the gore. But coming in at my number 1, we're going to have Terrifier 2. This was a huge improvement, in my opinion, from the original Terrifier, where we actually start having a concise story, some more lore being built out, and we get an amazing final girl. and with her character being fleshed out even more so now in Terrifier 3, but just within this movie alone, and seeing how there's slight connections and you're starting to build that lore, starting to introduce this kind of fantasy-esque thing with this whole horror movie that's gonna be, you know, with hell and demons and things like that. This movie was just such a relief, such a surprising movie that I was not expecting. I was expecting this to be just another rehash of the first one, where it's again all gore, all kills, no substance. But this absolutely surprised me with how great the story is, how easily you invest yourself within these characters and you start to care for them right off the bat. And again, you have Arthur Clown, who is starting to really find his form. And for me, when this movie came out, he became one of my favorite horror icons of all time. So this movie and this series is starting to cement itself as one of the greatest horror franchises of all time, in my opinion. And number 2 for me is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. So I absolutely loved everything that Damien Leone is doing with these characters within this movie, and I'm so excited to see how much more he builds out this lore. And this movie for me is such a rewatchable film. And when you get into that practical effects gore, it is top notch. You have the bedroom scene, which in my opinion is still the greatest kill sequence within this entire movie, the most shocking kill sequence, the most gruesome kill sequence. So for me, Terrifier 2 comes in on my number 1. But that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Let me know your ranking in the comments section down below. Let me know your enjoyment of the entire Terrifier franchise. Let me know if you don't like it. I would love to hear all your thoughts of why you don't. But again, if you guys like something movie, TV shows, or video game related, just make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.